going through Street Fighter, a quote tier list of characters that I would like added into Street Fighter, and if I think they will change the ecosystem or not change the ecosystem. For example, a character that changed the ecosystem slightly is Sagat. Slightly loose on the slight. He doesn't have crouching medium kick into drive rush. He has very good buttons. He pretty much is a projectile king at this point. He's beating everything, and he has a sort of interesting kit regardless of how the scrubs play him, you feel me? And that's a slight change. It doesn't change the overall perspective because he's just one character, but down the line we could get more that could require actual thought behind playing Street Fighter 6. Now we're gonna be talking, I already did a little bit. I did the base roster, that's my mic. As you can see, I did the base roster. I did characters that we should definitely skip, and I think I got the exact same tier list from last time. So all the characters from last time are also here. I'm gonna go into whether or not we should skip, stays the same, or would change the ecosystem. I think that's simple enough. I think we're able to go back and forth on it depending on the character. You feel me? Like off rip, we could probably put like off rip, we could put Nash and it stays the same. Right? Nash, although would be an interesting addition, he would just be a slightly more offensive Guile. Right? He doesn't change much. It just forces you to be a little less patient with your approaches if you are being patient versus Guile. You want to get in there, you want to try to punish him. I'm trying to remember what his kit was in Street Fighter 5. I think I need to play a little bit more because I'm blanking right now. But this is a perfect example. I don't think he would change the overall ecosystem that is Street Fighter 6. Before we get further into it, you guys know the dealio. Bada bing, bada boom, you feel me? Bada bing. No, this side. This side looks way better. Bada bing, motherfucking boom, bro. Go to gamersubs.gg. Use code FALSEEVY to get 10% off your order, you feel me? You guys gotta save them dimes, you feel me? You gotta save them dimes. Just as a meme, listen, I'll take his stage, but I do not want Vega. I really don't. Him as a character, if I'm remembering his approaches and how he works, it would change how things work currently in Street Fighter 6 because it would require you to be more precise with your neutral and your spacing, because he technically has two different types of reach, with the claw and without the claw, and he's pretty much a jab. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's pretty much a jab and run. He's a poke and escape type of character. He gets that good one combo in, he backs out until you mess up again. I want Gouken in Street Fighter 6. No thank you. No thank you to Gouken off rip. I'm gonna put that in right away. If we're gonna get a Shoto, we're gonna talk about it in a second. Where's Gouken? Where's that nigga at, bro? Gouken, skip. Bring Hakan. Hold on, y'all moving too quickly. You're moving too quickly. Why not? So for one, Ryu is, so the only reason for Gouken to exist as a playable character in Street Fighter is because Ryu has not mastered the Hado. In this current iteration of Street Fighter 6, the way he is working, the way his flow state is working in his kit, he's mastered the Hado. We don't need somebody above Ryu who's doing the same thing as Ryu, but better. It doesn't make any sense. Gotta put Remy in for Fierce? Yeah. At this point, I think Remy is a shoo-in. When Remy is a shoo-in, I have no idea where he would be. Remy would change because just like Ingrid, we don't know what the hell he's gonna do. I don't know anything about the lore. He's just sick to me. Gouken's animations and how he works as a character has always been really cool. Him, Kage, Evil Ryu, and Shin Akuma, and even Oni. And even Oni were all interesting different types of Shotos. But the reason why I'm putting Oni in here is the same reason why I'm putting Kage and Evil Ryu. It's because we need violent cannon this bitch. But I'm gonna go in order. I'm gonna go in order. I'm not gonna go too far. I'm not gonna skip ahead. You feel me? You got Nakali right here. Where is he? Where's Hakan? You got Hakan right here. We'll talk about those characters when we get there. We'll talk about those characters when we get there. To me, Gouken could be skipped. Now, Shoto wise, we could use Sean, we could use Sakura, we could use Violent Ken, but I think we still need to think about the current landscape as to where Street Fighter 6 is going, lore wise and competitive wise. Do you guys want another Shoto to deal with? Do you guys want another character that has Shoto capabilities but way better? I think that's always something to think about. Balrog, I do not want him in the game. I really don't. Can we have all 3 boxes with different play styles and coexist? I really wish, because there hasn't been a single game where they all exist. There's 5 with Balrog and Ed, because Balrog trained Ed. There's 4, Ed doesn't exist, and Dudley is there, and so is Balrog. So, yes. But this is not a tier list as to what this is not a tier list based off what I would want for characters. This is what I think Street Fighter 6 could use for characters. Because, obviously, I'll put fucking cviper, even though she's already in there, God bless. We could put goddamn DeCapre in there. We could put Seth in there. We could put all these ignorant-ass, cool-ass characters. But will they change the way Street Fighter 6 plays in an interesting way that'll bring more players? And that's the thing that I want to currently talk about. Fei Long. I don't know how y'all feel about Fei Long. We need to skip. Who? Exactly. Fei Long. The Bruce Lee character. He is by far one of my the least interesting Bruce Lee clone in fighting games, I believe. Like Law is more interesting in Tekken than him. I do not care about Fei Long. He's alright, but if they do decide to do another Bruce Lee clone, it needs to be a student of Fei Long that's definitely doing something interesting. It has to be. T-Hawk. To my knowledge and to my memory of T-Hawk, I think he would change only slightly, because I think he's a grappler. First of all, because in case you guys didn't know, T-Hawk is Lily's dad. I think T-Hawk is a grappler with rotation inputs, but he has good pokes. So think of, what's his name in City of the Wolves? T-Hawk? Literally the same fucking character. Better Lily? True. Violent Ken is staying the fucking same. The Violent Ken as a Shoto, not only do I want him badly, he's gonna keep the game consistent by making Ken go from here to here, and that's a problem. Okay, we don't need Ken with a full screen super. We don't need Ken with the raging demon. We don't need Ken with the Shoryuken, Shoryu Repa as a regular special. I think it was a regular special. No, he also had the that lightning thing that Akuma does as well. He does that. Violent Ken is not changing a damn thing about Street Fighter 6. If anything, he's gonna make Ken a little bit more ignorant. And seeing how Ken is going everywhere, he's in City of the Wolves, and he's in Street Fighter 6. Next thing you know, that nigga's gonna be in fucking Tekken 8 as a special guest character. Violent Ken needs to show up. We need to change his character up. We need to introduce Violent Ken into a modern game. And I feel the violent version will supersede the evil version of Ryu, because evil Ryu is irrelevant now. Ryu is in his peace era. That man's over here listening to goddamn trees and grass and spirits and mastering his chi and his hado. Ken isn't. This man lost his money, lost his family. This man hasn't had a haircut in how long? He's a homeless man in the city of New York. You might as well keep it that way. Might as well keep it that way. Just give it even better Jinrai, bro. He's gonna have a Jinrai that gives automatic meaties. He's gonna give automatic meaties. It doesn't even matter. It's gonna have the same Jinrais, but it's gonna have more follow-ups. It's gonna go further. It's gonna do more damage. It's stupid. It's stupid. Just imagine that into Raging Demon. No fucking thank you. But also yes, thank you. I'll take it. Adon. Okay, we just got Sagat. I don't know Adon. I don't know Adon well enough. I don't know Adon's kit well enough Every time I saw a Muay Thai fighter, whenever I saw Adon, I was just like, who is this character? But then I saw Sagat, I was like, oh yeah, it's Sagat. I don't care about Adon. I feel like we can skip. I could also say the same about Birdie, only because I know Birdie would actually piss me the fuck off. And we already gonna have other annoying ass characters in this game, so we can skip Adon, we can skip Birdie. Maki. So for those who don't know, Maki just recently got added. No. It's gonna stay the same. Hold on, and I'll explain why. So Maki just recently got added to the Street Fighter 3 Alpha in the Capcom collection. She just got added, and Max was playing her. And she's pretty much Kimberly, but her follow-ups are pretty much grab-based. And I think it'd be interesting to see like a grappler version of Kimberly. Not that she's a grappler, she's still a rushdown, but her follow-ups are primarily grabs. Correct me if I'm wrong. Guy? Okay, so here's the trade, right? We either get Maki or Guy. We don't get both. Everything I said about Maki will be tenfold for Guy. I played Guy in 4, like semi-recently. I played him on stream, and I was going kind of hard. This man has a raging demon. Did you guys fucking know that? Guy has a raging demon. Like, the screen turns black and then white, and it says some shit, and it does damage. It's crazy. I don't think Guy will change anything about Street Fighter 6, but I do think Kimberly's teacher would be really interesting, because we can see what the fighting style's actually supposed to look like, you know? She has her whole little ninja star variant, like she's cool, like hip-hoppy cool. I want to see what a traditional ninja would do. And speaking of traditional ninjas, let's talk about her right now. Where is she? Ibuki. Yes, Guy is Kimberly's mentor. Yep. Kimberly learned everything from Guy, and I'm sure she just developed her style based off of that. So imagine we get two ninjas, two different styles of ninja. Ibuki, I feel, would change the way Street Fighter 6 is played because of her almost Shoto-like kit. Almost Shoto-like kit. The only thing she doesn't have is a Tatsu. I feel like Ibuki's kit, because of how fast it is, it'd be really interesting to see how it works amongst the drive system, along with her kunais, bombs, her command grab. I want to see how it follows up. I want to see her supers. I would love to see how they would approach that, but also I do feel like her speed would be comparable, and mix-up ability would be comparable to Kimberly's. I would love to see it. Two different ninjas, two different styles, two different approaches that you need to both learn. Mix-heavy characters. Obviously, this is biased because I am a Kimberly player, but I feel Ibuki would go dummy in this ecosystem. Junie, seeing how the what are they called? The dolls. Seeing how the dolls are disbanded, I don't think we're gonna get her. Armika, I feel like no. For those who played Armika, or for those who played 5 versus Armika, Rushdown Grappler, that's exactly what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. She's demolishing. As of right now, we do not have a grappler that's a rushdown. We have Geef and Manon. That's it. Granted, we're getting Alex. And Alex himself is also a grappler, but he's more of a bruiser than a grappler. He's gonna change it, so long as he's more focused on being a bruiser than to being a grappler. But because of most likely his kit just being Oki based and meaty setups, I don't think he's gonna change the game that much. He's just probably gonna make people regret mashing light on Wake Up. So he's gonna beat my ass. Armika is changing it. She's changing the fucking game. She could jump full screen, like. Hopefully she's not... Okay, so hopefully she doesn't summon her friend in this game. Like, she'll show up for the super, that's fine. But hopefully she doesn't, like, summon her friend, like, actually to get in the fucking way. But Armika, Armika in this game, yes. Yeah. Her kit would suit in leading the change for Street Fighter 6. Kadeen isn't changing a damn thing. I don't think we need her, but we do need a rich girl in this game for people to hate. A very popular character. Sakura. I played Sakura. I played a lot of Sakura. I loved Sakura back in the day. I thought she was great. With this new system and the current state of Street Fighter 6, she doesn't change. She doesn't change anything. She's not adding anything different to the game outside of her appearance. She's literally just a more combo heavy Ryu with less damage, way less damage. It'd be interesting to see her in this game. I would love to see an actual full adult version of Sakura in this game. But we have to remember that the more characters that we get that don't change the game, the less people, hypothetically, the more people are going to get bored of playing the game versus more interesting characters changing the game up. Granted, we don't need somebody all the time doing something crazy like Hakan or Jamie or Dalsim that's doing something unique. We don't need that all the time, but having that variable in there does make the game more digestible in long terms. So yesterday, I was playing Grand Blue. Obviously, you guys were there. And Willness genuinely is enjoyable to play. Willness is probably genuinely enjoyable to fight against. But his combo strings, the way he works, so him as a character, the way his combos work, he's meant to abuse the hell out of you. And it comes off very clearly that he's supposed to do that. But outside of his approach in neutral and how he plays, his combo structure is exactly the same as everybody else's. And that's the part that I was talking about on Discord with Yuna specifically, as to how I don't find Grand Blue to be that game that I will play for more than 2-3 hours at a time and enjoy it. Willness being so different is what made me actually enjoy the last time. Will that high stay the same? I don't know. I definitely got to play more Grand Blue. But Willness was definitely a fun addition to the game because he actually changes the approach of how the game works. He's weighted, he's heavy, no auto combos, nothing connects automatically. You have to figure that stuff out. I think that's really interesting. I do find that really interesting. But at the same time, for Street Fighter, there's so many characters already that already set the grounds as to what the game is going to be. Do we need another character in there? Do we need all these characters in there that are going to do the same? That's where I'm feeling for Sakura specifically, and all the characters in general. But Sakura specifically, I don't want her. Excuse me, I want her. I don't need her. And I know she's not going to contribute to the game. I would much rather have Armika and Ibuki. Much rather have Armika and Ibuki because they're going to change the game. But Sakura, I love you. You might have to go on the back burner. No dolls. Cody, as the mayor of, what is it? I almost said Night City. The mayor of Night City. This is the mayor of Cyberpunk City, y'all. I found his kit because he was my main character in... What game did he drop in? Was it 4? He was my main character in 4. He was the one that I picked up, genuinely. Well, like, I did his arcade mode first. I did his trials first. I played online with him first. He has that tornado. He has items he can pick up and throw. He doesn't have a DP, right? He's really grounded. He seems like a more grounded version of Luke without the projectiles. I'm gonna put Skip. Because I feel Alex and Cody are too similar. Alex is more of the grappler, and while Cody's the more of the combo heavy. I would like Cody, but they feel like, in my head, seeing them both, I'm like, watching this matchup right here would feel exactly the same as watching a mirror match, I feel. So I'm gonna put Skip. Dan, we're not gonna talk about him. He's not gonna change a goddamn thing, but he's gonna be funny. So we're gonna move on from him. I know absolutely nothing about Rose. I know she's from the older games like Ingrid. I know she came back in 5. I did not fight against her. I didn't play against her. I didn't do anything like that with Rose. So for the people that play Street Fighter 5, let me know how she was. I know she had some good neutral. I think, if I remember correctly, she had something similar to Manat's game plan, without the, you know, extra reach from Manat's, what was it, staff or whatever? If that even was Manat, I don't even know who I'm thinking of now. I think we'll come back to Rose. We'll come back to Rose. Sodom, skip. Dudley. Dudley would change the game only slightly, because a lot of people already play Ed like he's a rushdown when he's not. He's supposed to be a outfighter, and I think people forget that. He's supposed to be punishing you on not paying attention to your positioning and how you're stancing, you're blocking. He's block checking you pretty much, and he's gonna follow up and kill you for it. Dudley's gonna rush you the fuck down and beat you the hell up. Dudley's not letting you do nothing else. You are not gonna fight against Dudley and think there's time to think. He's on your ass. Dudley is changing this game. He's a rushdown boxer. My Dream Combo says different. You're using an outfighter's tools. You're using an outfighter's tools to do things like that. You have a projectile, you have the flicker, you have reach. Dudley, to my knowledge, the only thing that he has that has reach is his corkscrew punch that goes literally his arm. He drills it like Luffy's goddamn rifle, and then his Rose. And I would love to see Rose kills in this game. Outside of that, though, outside of me would loving to see Rose kills, I would love an actual rushdown boxer in this game. That is because Balrog taught Ed. So Balrog is going to be the perfect version of Ed, where he has no projectiles, none of that bullshit. He's just stance up, punch, punch, punch. Like, that's all you get. That's all you get from Balrog. And Ed is a good combination of both of those. Both of those. He's a good hybrid of rushdown and outfighting. I think Dudley would make that interesting as a boxer. Him being a rushdown boxer, perfect. No projectiles, just straight neutral, good jabs, mix-ups, and flowers to throw at people. Gil. How many of you have fought Gil in Third Strike? I genuinely believe that Gil should not be added into this game. But if he were, I don't think he's changing a damn thing. I think Gil and his ice powers, his fire powers, he'll just make the game a living hell for the person on defense, because he can literally cover all of his bases all the fucking time. And it's so annoying. Sagat is probably losing to Gil in fireballs alone, because ice ball, fireball, he had that like Iceman rain from the sky. He had a fireball like that he threw, similar to Dulcine Super. I don't think he's changing the game. I don't think he's changing the game. I don't think we need him, but I don't think he's changing the game if we do get him. Hugo, I don't want Hugo. I would rather Hugo be in the back burner as a support character for Poison than for him to be playable. We'll talk about Rose later, like I said. Now, here's the character that's the cause of all this. This is the character that's the cause of all this. And the reason why I say Makoto is the cause of all this is because Makoto is the leading character that will force everybody to be more aware of their pokes. She needs to be similar to Wilness as much as possible. Her combos don't need to have the same properties. She doesn't need to have the same setups. She doesn't need any of that. What she needs that's similar to Wilness is high damage, slow movement speed, and ways to close in the space that makes you scared. Thankfully, her Hayate, I think it's her punch where she goes like this and zooms in. That is gonna make people scared, because you thought you were full screen away from her. Now she's in there. She's gonna be Lydia, but for Street Fighter, she's gonna be Lydia if Lydia was good. Lydia has too much setup and the knowledge required in order for her kit to be useful for a regular player. Same with Makoto, but Makoto's archetype is completely different. Mostly everybody in Tekken is supposed to be like a bruiser, brawler type, where you're scrapping. Makoto's not a scrapper. Makoto's a killer. She's a punish killer. She's looking only for punish counters. She's looking only for punish hits. And when she does get those punish hits, she's killing you for it. Does Makoto even have stances? No, but she has chargeable moves. So her Hayate, to my knowledge, anybody who's played the character can obviously correct me. The light goes a certain distance, the medium goes a certain distance. The heavy can go variable differences. It goes the shortest distance if you just tap it, or if you hold it, it goes further. The difference between the light and the medium and the heavy, outside of the distances, is the damage scaling and the timing that the punch comes out. It takes her a little bit longer to get the punch out from the heavy to even go the short distance, and it takes a while for the punch to come out to go the furthest distance. But again, damage. She has the damage on that. She doesn't have stances like that. She has a command grab though, and that command grab is the choke that she does. That sets up for her combos, at least in third strike. Does she need that in this? Yes. Otherwise, she would have no way of getting people open outside of praying that they get mixed up, because Makoto's heavy. Makoto's dense. She's shaking the screen with her punches. She should not jump that high. She should have no mobility whatsoever. At the end of this, I want to hear your 4 for season 4. My 4 for season 4. Got you. Make a whole tier as well. I'll make a whole tier just for that. Necro little wiggly noodle arm ass. The way his projectiles work, I believe they're lows. You don't know who that is? I think Necro's a character specifically from Third Strike. He threw projectiles that were on the floor, so they were lows. One of his supers was a body electricity type move where he would like go into like some weird little Uzi type dance like this. But obviously he was just stand still and just electricity. So he's like Blanca if he had reach. He's like Blanca Dalsim because he stretches his arms too. I could be making that shit up. I don't even know if that stretch arm bit is true anymore because it's been that long. But the electricity I do remember. I do remember him punching the ground like this to send the projectiles on the floor. Here's another Shoto that I think would be enjoyable to play. Yes. Yeah. I thought that was hilarious. It is hilarious. It is hilarious. I was gonna retweet it and be like, okay, is there another button for a sauce assist? Because those burritos at Chipotle be dry as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. So the reason why I would love Sean in this game, and it's not what I would want. This is about what I think will be interesting. Sean being added to the game would be great because he would compliment Dan at being in a competition on who's the worst Shoto in fighting game history. Last I checked, Sean was from Third Strike, and his Shoryuken had no height, similar to Dan. I think Dan's Shoryuken was higher. I think Dan's Shoryuken was a little bit higher, maybe, but it was a worse stance. I think he would be the worst Shoto in the game, and I think it'd be interesting to have that being added into the game. Getting mixed up because the character is genuinely bad. Make him spawn a hoop. Make him spawn a hoop for his level 3 where he hops off you for a dunk. That would be a good super. Fierce. Or he like channels the energy of the Hado into the basketball and he dunks it, and it's a Hadouken. Hadunken. It's a Hadunken. We're gonna put the letter characters together, Q and G. Both of these characters do some weird shit, honestly. Like G he didn't have an install, he had a buff. I don't know a damn thing about Q. That man can stay in his suit and be unknown for all I care. Every time I see this man, he's always doing something that's really impractical and sloppily, and it just looks like it hurts. So we could take more slow characters. Abraham Jinkin. I think his setups, they fight the same. They kind of fight the same. Do they really? Nah, there's theories that Q and G are the same person, but they're so far apart on the alphabet. There's no way. Well, assuming that they're both separate, I think both characters would be interesting in the game. So, for those who don't know, Oro, although he's dead, because this man was already looking like a raisin at 300,000 years old, I want to see that man's super where he... I want to see that man do that. I would love to see Oro with a drive rush into his super, into his special move where he does the grab, into his super where he does the grab some more. But jokes aside, I do think Oro's game plan would be really interesting in Street Fighter 6. I think it'd be really cool to see, like his projectiles, the patience. I think he had stubby normal similar to Aki, and a lot of his game plan does require him to get in. And I do think with the parry system and the drive impact system, it'd be a really interesting addition. It would be a really interesting addition to see Oro, Q, G as weirder, slower characters in the game, even though Oro's not slow in the slightest. He could be the second character that could kill you off a bad jump. Oro drive rush, yeah. Oro drive rush command grab. 12. 12 we can skip because I think we need a new random play monster to turn into random characters, because that's all 12 was, right? 12 was only a character that is just like, hey, yeah, this is random, but this is a character that is random. Hate what they did with him on 5. What they do to him on 5. I like his dance. I don't know how you pronounce this man's name. Ulrain, Urian. Aegis Reflector. Yeah, exactly. The Aegis Reflector setups are gonna go crazy in Street Fighter 6, but I don't think his kit it provides anything to the overall system, similar to the rest of these characters. That's how I pronounce it. I've been saying Urian since Third Strike. I need to see how Low Tier God says his name, because I'm gonna just pronounce it like that, even though that's probably the worst person to see pronounce it like that. All right, now we're up to the brothers, the twins, Jamie's senseis. I think Yoon would be a change into the game, but I don't know if Yang would be. I think Yoon's rush down approach with Jamie tools without the drinking ability would be kind of interesting. And also he'd be a threat with his shadow clone bullshit as combo. Not combo, with that super, where he's able to cross up and stuff. Very interesting, but I don't know if Yang can also provide the same to the game. I know they play differently. I just remember Yoon being played more, outside of me playing him, obviously. Like I remember older people. I remember people from back in the day playing him in general, like in tournaments and stuff, outside of him being broken. Abel, we got Alex. We don't need him. DiCaprio. Yang is cool in my opinion. Yeah, so he's cool, but I'm trying to compare him to his brother or twin, whatever the hell. I'm gonna try to compare him to Yoon and then Jamie, and see how he would provide a change to the game. Because this tier list isn't about what I would want; it's about what I think would change the ecosystem. Because if it was up to me, if this was like a favoritism, G, Necro, Sean, Balrog, and T-Hawk and Oro would not be up here. Everybody else would be, which is pretty much nobody. Who was the character? DiCaprio. DiCaprio, for those who don't know, she had some stupid ass fucking inputs, and her approach, she was literally Guile. If Guile was a doll, if Guile was Cammy, she's literally that. Because DiCaprio was charged, and her combos actually required some stupidly difficult inputs. I think a Cammy clone that does Guile-like things but still has the same approach as Cammy would be interesting, because it's forcing you to still do charge and stuff while on the offense. So basically Chun-Li's approach, if she actually required charge for her special moves, like a lot of them anyway, outside of her stance. All right, here comes this slippery fucking bastard. Khan. Yang was pretty much a defensive version of Yoon. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought he was. That's what. So like comparing the two, I'm like, Yang would be interesting, but I don't know if he could provide a difference. Hakan's slippery. He's also a rushdown grappler, similar to Armika, but his slippery mechanic on himself and you would provide interesting interactions. So this slippery bastard with drive rush, drive impact, and the ability to slide full screen whenever he wanted, along with making you slip and slide as well. That's some bullshit I kind of do want to deal with, because it would change up the game. It honestly would. I hate Hakan. I hated his ass being added. I was very confused. But another character that made me even more confused that existed in the fucking game, Rufus's big ass. Rufus's big ass. I fucking hate his ass so bad. I don't know what it was about fighting games in this era when he was created, because every single one made the archetype big character that doesn't look like they move fast, moves fast. So Rufus and Bob, problem. I hate them both. I hate the archetype. It doesn't make sense. This is a That's the diversion. The fat mix down. The fat mix down. The fat mix up. The fat mix up. You're getting approached by a dude that looks like they need to be moving slow, but the joke is that they over here beating the dog shit out of you. He wouldn't change much to the game outside of his character design, him being chunky. Not outside of that, he's just a rush down. Really mix heavy rush down. I don't know if he has any close-in tools, so from full screen or anything like that. But if this man gets in, he's over here mixing the hell out of you, bro. Mixing the hell out of you. Seth defaults as an all-rounder. I don't think we should include them into this game. Even female form or not, I don't care how popular you are. We don't need to have you in this game. You wouldn't provide anything outside of being just another all-rounder. El Fuerte, fuck El Fuerte. Fuck El Fuerte. Skip. Poison. That girl is. I would love to see a very femme empowerment fighting style from Poison that is not including the whip. I don't care what she looks like, so long as she's bad, and she's over here talking about putting people in their place, still keeping on the dominatrix persona, but without the whip. I was not a fan of the whip. Not a big fan of it. Everything else I was okay with. She doesn't necessarily need to fight either with her hands, because I know she's from what is it, Double Dragon? I know she's from Double Dragon, and I know her sprite uses a whip, hence the reason why she used the whip. I don't want the whip. I want to see a scrappy girl. Like yeah, we got Sakura, yeah, we got Kari, yeah, we got Ibuki and Makoto, but we don't have this type of scrappy. I would love to see her have a different kit. I would also love to see her in general in Street Fighter 6. Will we get her? Unlikely. She did have some decent playtime at 5, to my knowledge, from the people that I've seen, but I don't know if we will. Odds are, I think it's unlikely, but we'll see. Fang. No. We're not going to get Fang. And even if we were to get Fang, he would contribute nothing, because Aki, to my knowledge, does exactly what this man does. Does exactly the same. Colin, she has her ice powers. We can skip her. Hold on. I'm trying to remember what she did. Let's look up Colin combos real quick. That was a nasty ass fucking punish. Holy shit. That catch right there, I would love to see something like that in Street Fighter 6. That was cool. Pun intended. He's dead. That mixed? She has an air jump? She has an air jump? She has an air jump? She has a fucking air jump? I want her. I want her. I want her. I want her so bad. This is so interesting to... Okay. Launch. Into an air grab! We don't need to see more. We don't need to see more. We do not need to see more. We do not need to see more. That was crazy. Laura, I don't think will contribute anything to the game. I played a little bit of Laura in 5. As any grown man would do, because obviously, what are we talking about here? I played her a little bit. I found her kit to be interesting. I do like how she works. What the fuck was her name again? Laura. I like how she works. I like how things flow with her. But I don't know if she contributes anything to Street Fighter 6's ecosystem. Let's just see some stuff real quick. Because this right here is just, to me, as of right now, to my knowledge of all of her stuff and how she works, she just feels like a Guile. She contributes eye candy, yeah, but I'd rather have a new character be eye candy than a character that contributes nothing. At least with a new character, we get a chance of getting something brand new. If we do get her, she contributes nothing. But would she be cool to have? Yeah. She sets up the fireball and uses it later? Yeah, I guess so. That was one of the things that actually tuned me to her, was how slow her fireball was. But again, her watching her gameplay, playing her, she comes off as a guile type. You do the set play, you follow up with the combo. She doesn't feel all of that. She doesn't feel all that great unless you know what you're doing, obviously. But at the end of the day, we already have Guile. She would be strong in 6. She kind of would be strong in 6. A moving Sonic Blade? Oh yeah? Yeah. But does that change the way the game works, though? You feel me? She's still rushing down with Drive Rush, trying to get in. She's just throwing that really slow, long-lasting fireball right before. And then she has the counter hit properties. Well, she is the parry, not parry character. Yeah, she is. Necalli. How would you guys describe Necalli's game plan? I would love to see Necalli because he would be fireballless Blanca. Was that Wolverine? That was Wolverine super. Skip the fuck out of Necalli. Is Kage his own being or the evil that was inside Ryu, since he kind of looks like Ryu? So I don't know the lore behind Kage and Ryu. In fact, let's look it up. No, Kage is not evil Ryu, but rather the physical manifestation of the evil spirit within Ryu. So yes, that was a perfect guess, Rondi. Right on the goddamn nose. Right on the goddamn nose. While Kage resembles Ryu, they are distinct entities in Street Fighter lore. Evil Ryu is Ryu succumbing to the Satsui no Hado, where Kage is the spirit itself taking physical form. So odds are, Kage will and has a chance to come. So why not him? I feel like we've moved past that, but now that we know the lore behind him, and how he's different and not just an evil Ryu clone, I'm fine with Kage being there. I just wish his name wasn't fucking Kage. Why is it Kage of all things? Status, vanished. Apparently phased from existence. So he's dead. Ryu replies that although he would not deny Kage's existence, he cannot accept that they are one and the same, and that he, Ryu, wouldn't be fighting back. The two fight at the top of the Suzaku Castle, with Ryu claiming that he isn't fighting to win, but that he isn't fighting to lose either. After Kage beats Ryu and mocks Ryu one last time, Ryu dismisses it and says Kage can do whatever he wants. If it wants to corrupt Ryu, then it may. If it wants to leave, then it may leave. Kage is distraught and confused, asking Ryu, why isn't Ryu afraid? Kage then vanishes, as Ryu is no longer affected by the influence of the Satsui no Hado, having nullified and overcome the Satsui no Hado by tapping into the power of nothingness. Okay, so not only do I want Kage in the game now, he completely erased the guest character that I did want added, because the lore would work perfectly well for what I would want to happen in Street Fighter 6. It means Shadow, apparently. Yeah. Kage no Bushin. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Yep. Thank you for diving into Kage. I appreciate it. Abigail. Leave that fucker out. I as much as I would love to. As much as I would love to. We need that big nigga to punch the fuck out of people. What's wrong with Abby? You know damn well what's wrong with Abby. Abby is a goddamn ignorant ass character that does nothing but... Abigail would change the game because he genuinely would reach across the screen and beat your ass, similar to Sagat, but better, and will get you even more mad. I don't want him in the game. I want to skip him with a passion. No, thank you. But yeah, that's it. That's Abigail. I don't want Abigail, but Abigail would probably be a good addition. Now we're up to the new-ish characters of Street Fighter 5, except for Akira. We're gonna just put Akira in skip because Akira was a collab character that, although was interesting, I don't think Akira's gonna come back. Let's see what Falk did. I've only fought Dirk's Falk, but I haven't seen what she does generally. All I know is that she has that pull stick, and I fucking hate it. Falk has some weird stuff, yeah. As of right now, she's coming off similar to Venom and Strive. Without the set play of the balls. Good reset. You have an actual projectile. You turn your pull stick into a shotgun. Okay, you have an actual projectile. Okay, so I'm saying no to you for the main reason that we already have to deal with your bullshit in City of the Wolves on a different character that Fierce plays. I don't want that in Street Fighter 6. I don't want that in Street Fighter 6. I really don't. Now we're talking about the character that inspired the Jinrai setups. Probably Lucia. This is the character I feel probably inspired the Jinrai setups because people geared more towards her than I feel people played actual Ken. Let's see what a Warlord level Lucia. Lucia's the character that inspired the Jinrai and the Dragon Lash, I feel. And the running, because Ken has all of it in Street Fighter 6. I feel like Lucia is probably supposed to be Ken's wife or some shit. They made her playable. They just changed her name. I don't fucking know Lucia's lore, but she's a cop, and I'm okay with losing to a cop if it's Lucia. It's not because she's bad or anything, like she's not a baddie or anything like that, but her kit actually looks genuinely fun to play. I want her to have the police baton. No police baton, please. She doesn't need that. She already has so many far-reaching buttons. Look at this shit. This person, he's dead now. Yep, literally the inspiration for there's short, the run, the Jinrai, and the Dragon Lash. They took all of her tools and just gave it to Ken. I want her though. I love her kit. It's really fun to watch. It's really fun to probably use too. I tried to use her. I was not good with her. I would love to see her, but not. Manat would change the game only because she's technically, forgive the comparison, but this is exactly what she is. Manat is literally the beta version of JP. Shoot me if you want to, tell me to shut up if you want to. I'm sorry, that's literally what Manat is, and you're not gonna tell me she's not. You're not gonna tell me she's not. There's no way you're gonna tell me she's not. The beta version of JP with the setups, the reach. Look at this. Look at that. You're not gonna tell me she's the more offensive JP. You're not going to tell me that. I do think that she will provide use, though. I do think she'd be interesting to go against. And I will hate her just as much as I hate JP. Because I don't want to deal with having the block on the opposite side of me because of that ball being set in a spot right behind my cankle as I'm about to rush down with Kimberly. No, thank you. No fucking thank you. But I'll deal with it. Zeku. To my knowledge, Zeku is the master of Gai, yeah? He's the Grand Master of the School of the Bushin Ryu Ninjutsu. Let's see what he did. He has those kicks. He has that DP. He has the flip. He has the teleport, which is looking really cool. Good shimmy. Just based off that immediately. Can you imagine a slower combo heavy version of Kimberly? And if we do get Zeku, this automatically invalidates Guy because his kit actually looks interesting. Guy's is not as interesting as Zeku's. That was crazy to look at. Just that round alone, that was crazy to look at. Like that kit right there, it just in neutral. No wait, hold on. Isn't that? That's not Ibuki's, right? That's Ibuki's kick. What the fuck? Why does he have Ibuki's kick? How would DeCapre change the game? Outside of inputs alone, she's a Guile version of Cammy with Cammy's approach. So she requires some further planning with her kit because she's just a charge variant of Cammy. Have you not seen DeCapre? You haven't really played her on 4? Outside of the focus cancels, her hooligan and mix-ups. She also has a balls of potential dream combos. Ain't no way. We're not gonna base this off of dream capability. A more offensive charge-based, like look at that. A more offensive charge-based Cammy. Is this okay? Let's do infiltration because I think infiltration was probably. I don't know if he was, but he might have been the best DeCapre. I do remember him playing her. Winners bracket at Evo 2015, top 8. She has a run-in that was full screen, by the way. This Yuri's good. I don't know Kappa II. The hooligan right there. Good. Good super. DeCapre would just be really cool to have into this game, period. I would love to see another game with her. I'm pretty sure she wasn't well loved because of how difficult she was. But we're getting cviper. If we're getting cviper, there's no reason why we can't get her. I retract my previous question. I was ignorant. I mean, bro, if you didn't know, you didn't know. A lot of people didn't play DeCapre. She was actually one of the characters I did try out when I first picked up Street Fighter 4. And me being the teenager that I was, who didn't do inputs all that well, she was a problem. I dropped her immediately. She's gonna be a modern-only character. She gets in, 100 per fucking cent. 100 per fucking cent. And that's the thing. She's still going to be high execution even on modern, and that's the thing that I'm going to love about her. Like, she'll probably be the character I still won't even play on modern, but I would love to see how modern players do play her, because she has crazy reactions, she has crazy interactions, and a lot of crazy things that just would be really interesting in Street Fighter 6. We gotta talk about Rose, unfortunately. Unfortunately. We gotta talk about Rose. Because this is the character I skipped before I even thought about doing the videos on YouTube. Rose is the character, like I said before, from way back in the day. Alpha 3. I don't know what her archetype is. I don't know what she does. I don't know if she'd even contribute anything to Street Fighter 6. But just looking at this, I'm gonna go no. She contributes nothing to Street Fighter 6. Just watching these combos, I'm just like, no, thank you. Granted, these are very specific combos. That's a very cute swimsuit on you, Rose. That was a cool combo. That was a cool double fireball, switch sides. Wake up, Shoryu, punish counter. Fireball, double fireball. It's a super? Okay. Yeah, I'll just off rip just from that. You don't contribute anything, I feel. I don't feel like you contribute anything. Although, would you be interesting? Yes, because I feel like your interactions would be very nice. Given how you have a delay timing on your scarf and your fireball, and you have an air projectile as well that a lot of characters don't have. I think it'd be very interesting to see. Now, we are up to the bit where we're gonna do what Arandi had asked of me. Which was the 4 characters that I would love seeing in this game that could or could not be interesting in Street Fighter 6. I'm curious to think, what 4 would you guys want added into Street Fighter 6? From this list right here. From these people up here. Kage, Lucia, joke character, and Chi. I would love to see a brand new character. I would love to see a brand new character. And luckily enough, I think Tekken caused it. And I already know this is how it works, because like I called before with M. Bison, I said I said Hayachi and M. Bison need to stay dead because these new games are moving forward with the story. We do not need to see the old villains. Then Street Fighter announced M. Bison and the rest of the past. Then Tekken was just like, you know what's crazy about that? Hayachi's alive too. That motherfucker's been meditating. So, seeing how we have Miari coming into Tekken 8, one slot is already reserved for a brand new character. So, I'm going to leave one slot empty for Season 4 because I already know a slot's going to be there, but I'm going to choose still 4 or 5 characters that I would love to see added into the game. Maybe Jin, I was about to say that. I would love a reference to Tekken cross Street Fighter in Street Fighter 6. I don't want it to be Jin though. Makoto? Dudley. It don't have to be him, but anybody from Tekken 8. But realistically, it would be a Mishima. It would be a Mishima. And I'm gonna go with the unfortunate possibility that it's gonna be Heihachi or Kazuya over Jin. If I had to choose a character to be added from Tekken as a character in Street Fighter, although Jin would be cool, I'd rather have Lars or Dragunov. Because we need a character that rivals Alex. And Abel is boring. We need a better version of Abel. So 2 of the 4 characters, like I said, that I would love to see added, 2 out of the 4. I'll do 5 characters that I think are going to be added into Street Fighter Season 4. I'm probably going to pull this from Hell and say this is going to be not likely at all in the slightest, and if it is likely, this pass is getting immediately bought, even if I go negative in my account. Violent Ken. And the reason why is because I would want Kage's lore to be that he phased all of whatever his Satsui no Hado physical spiritual energy into Ken for him to transform to become this. I don't want Kage. I don't need Kage. I'll take Kage's specials. I'll take some of what Kage does, put all of that into Violent Ken. Another character that just needs to be added. If people have been asking for him, I think we're gonna get Dan this season. This season coming up next. I think he's next. He has to be. I don't think we'll get Lucia because that's basically just Ken, unfortunately. Yang and Yoon are obviously not gonna be in the game. Urien is not gonna be in the game either. I don't think Rufus, Seth, or Rose are gonna make it either. I'm going Armika. Armika / Ibuki. It's gonna be either or, not both. These are my guesses for Season 4. Because we got Ingrid, that means there's a possibility of characters that were forgotten to history to come back, and Violent Ken is that character. How many seasons do I think we're getting? We're probably going to cap out at 5. Then they're going to do Street Fighter 6 Ultra Edition, where it's going to be all of this, plus all of the costumes DLC like they did. And then we'll probably get 2 more big passes, like 5 characters each, and that's it. Development for this game is obviously slow. It's taking a long time to develop these characters. I'm sure the development team for Street Fighter 6 is already working on the next pass. I already know it. Because they announced Sagat, Viper, Alex, and Ingrid. That means they're done. That means this team is taking vacation time, working slightly on the next pass, working on more content, working on balancing future balance patches, stages, and more, and hopefully a fucking World Tour expansion. But odds are they're already working on Season 4, and I'm praying Makoto's in there. At this point, it doesn't matter how many seasons come, so long as we get Makoto. and violent Ken in this game. In my opinion, we can leave World Tour alone. Big waste of time. So fortunately and unfortunately. So Street Fighter 6 was based off of the fact that this is supposed to be the Street Fighter game for newcomers, because we're starting anew with brand new characters leading the game, be it Jamie, with new characters leading the game, be Jamie and Luke, supposed to be the new rivals. That's supposed to be different from Ken and Ryu. World Tour was supposed to be the game mode that teaches people how to play the game. We have not gotten an expansion. We've gotten little DLCs that give us little segments. And all of the money that Street Fighter 6 is making that is going towards everything that they're developing is coming from the people that's buying the battle passes for the World Tour characters. All the people that are wanting more World Tour content, more characters to play off of, more things, more expansions, probably more combos, and hopefully they end up changing the system where we can do more special moves within a specific motion, is coming within World Tour. Hopefully. Odds are we are going to get more of that rather than more characters added into the pool of Street Fighter 6. I didn't even use it to learn this game, and this is my first Street Fighter. This is your first Street Fighter. This isn't your first fighting game. World Tour teaches motion inputs, charge inputs, reaction timing, everything. And it is a great way for newcomers to learn how to play a fighting game. You can take everything that you learned from World Tour and put it into into Grand Blue. You can take it all and put it into City of the Wolves. You can take all those mechanics and apply it to other fighting games. And it was pretty decent. The only slip up, in my honest opinion, that they did for World Tour outside of not expanding it is making the limitation to the motion and not towards the input. It should have been you should have been allowed 2 quarter circle inputs or 2 quarter circle back inputs, and it should be tied to the punch or the kick. It should not be tied to motion. That was the only fault of World Tour. Outside of that, the gameplay is great. I love the freedom. I love the stylistic capabilities that you can do with your combos. I love freeforming, and I love the creation that people have done with their combos. But they need to put more into it. All the back and forth, yeah, it's really just an RPG. It's Street Fighter the RPG. Those 4 characters are the only ones left behind in Third Strike, so they would be really cool for a rebranding in 6. It would be really nice for a rebranding in 6. I would love to see all the characters that I chose. I would love to see them. Ibuki, Mika, Dan, and Dudley. Specifically, so if like out of this pass, Dan and Dudley are the 2 that I would want definitely to come. Definitely. And I'll even put Armika in there too. Make it these 4. Make it these 4. I want them to come into the game. Please. Make this the next pass, and I'm okay with it. And it has to leave with Makoto. We have too many people doing dumb shit, and they're not getting punished enough in the game. We need people to understand that Makoto will end your shit. You need to get punished for it, and she will kill you. That's it. That's all I have to say on this. I don't know if there's anything else that you guys would like to talk about regarding this right here. Hopefully this was a little bit more in-depth and more interesting than just a basic, I want this character, I don't want this character. But I would love these characters, specifically Ken, Makoto into the game. The characters that stay the same, I feel like they stay the same. The characters that would change the ecosystem would change the ecosystem. But at the end of the day, it comes down to it comes down to what the company is wanting to do, because nobody in this world asked for Ingrid. I already knew that was a random throwaway. Somebody threw a dart at a board and landed it on her.